U.S. exits and the IMO approves. On April 9th, the U.S. pulled out of negotiations to implement carbon charges for the maritime industry in an effort to go net zero emissions by 2050. On April 11th, the IMO then agreed to terms and approved the carbon charges without the U.S. involved. As reported in two separate articles in supplychainbrain.com, the approved measure will combine mandatory emissions limits with GHG pricing. The measures will go into effect in 2027 after adoption in October of 2025. Why 2 years after adoption? I don't know. But they'll be mandatory for ocean-going vessels above 5,000 gross tons. These vessels account for 85% of the CO2 emissions from international shipping maritime. The U.S. threatens reciprocal impacts for any additional fees to its maritime industry or impacts to its private economy. Quote, our government will consider reciprocal measures so as to offset any fees charged to the U.S. ships, compensate the American people for any other economic harm from any adopted GHG emission measures. That's the message of withdrawal from the U.S. Not reported in the article is the fact that the U.S. is on a course to return to its prominence in shipbuilding and thusly U.S. flagged vessels. A couple of line items at play here. Negotiations. We've seen this before. There's plenty of time between now and 2027 to negotiate a fair or effective language to the measures. Secondly, there's plenty of time for intelligent discussion around trade costs and economic impact due to way too early for present technology mandates to go net zero on 85% of 3% of the CO2 emissions globally. For instance, net zero means that a ship will still spew CO2, but due to other operations, including carbon offset purchases, it's net zero. Also, it's a huge economic burden with no technology solutions for 85% of 3% of the GHG emissions. Hey,